Hello all, here I am again. This is my third attempt at my speech called Any Old Bag Will Do. So here we go. If you could pick any three items in your life that would best describe who you are, what would those items be? Would it be a hat? Would it be a quarter? Or would it be a remote? The items that I've chosen, the three items that I've chosen are my laptop, my Hot Wheels semi-truck, my laptop, my Hot Wheels semi-truck, and my combat knife. Of course, I didn't bring my semi-truck because it was just one extra thing to pack, and I didn't bring my combat knife because I was afraid it would get confiscated in the airport or through my bags being searched, and I didn't really want to risk that. So I decided to take pictures of them instead and put them on my laptop. So, like all items, they came in a bag. As you can see, this is my bag. And this bag and I have been through a lot together. I got this bag while I was in basic training, and it has been faithfully with me ever since. So let's look at some of these items that this bag carried. First off, we'll start with my laptop. How did I acquire this laptop? What is the history behind it? Well, I got this laptop from a coworker of mine, or basically, more accurately, a coworker of mine got on Newegg at this coworker was from Tinker Air Force Base. This is my last place I worked, and he showed me this on Newegg.com, and I was like, wow, that'd be really nice to have. You know, I was at the time I was a lonely guy in the dorms. I didn't have any entertainment of any kind, and I really was in bad need of a laptop, so I bought this guy. And I found that this laptop was very versatile. I was able to play movies, games, pay my bills, do a little bit of research and surfing on the web with it, and I've done all sorts of things with this laptop. So it's been quite faithful to me as well. But the biggest reason for why I bought this laptop was because of my love for technology. And how did I acquire that love? Well, it all go flash back to about 1999 when The Matrix came out. And when I first saw this movie, I was completely blown away by it. I was just amazed at how it was how you being a person could go inside a virtual world and just be able to do all these superhero things, and I looked at that and I was like, wow, I want that to make that a reality. And then later on, a movie called Inception came out, and that was even a better way of showing how that could be a reality. So this is where I found my desire to go into electronics engineering. But I had other interests as well. I have interests in industry, in machinery, in transportation, or what I've come to know in the military as logistics. You know, the trains and trucks and ships. So this is where my Hot Wheels. This is where my Hot Wheels truck comes into play. So how did I acquire this item? What were the events, the history behind this Hot Wheels semi-truck? Well, once again, at the third herd, my last unit, the vehicle ops, or vehicle operations as it's called, they had a tractor trailer course, and my squadron was in dire need of some truck drivers. And lo and behold, guess who volunteered? I did. They were like, okay, we need some volunteers to be in this class, and I was like, yeah, pick me. I want to do it. So I went into the class, and I finished the class, I graduated, I got qualified on the tractor trailer. And so, needless to say, my unit made great use out of me afterwards. As soon as I got qualified, I got to haul a forklift back from one of the sites, and then after that I did some other, I was the guy that they called to haul our equipment out to our exercise locations or training area. And so I became very well known as the guy to go to if you needed pallets hauled out to your site. And so I got to do a lot of truck driving in the herd, and I can tell you there's nothing like I never had such a feeling of accomplishment as being able to drive a semi. There's something about moving 50,000 pounds that just gives you the feeling of moving the world, and that right there is the key statement from there was a pride of being able to sit behind a wheel of this big rig and driving down the road, and there's a lot of skill as well. So it's a good feeling. So eventually, I got orders to my new assignment, and I had a going away. And since I became so well known for being the truck driver, my NCOIC presented this to me for my reward. So it holds a lot of significance to me, but from what I did there in the herd. But once again, my toy semi-truck doesn't bring a full picture to who I am. And this brings me to the last item that I've chosen. And that's my combat knife. So what's the story behind this item? How did I acquire it? Well, my wife bought it for me for Christmas this year, and I always wanted a combat knife. I always wanted something so as cool as that, and because a lot of my coworkers they brought their knives to work, and they usually come in handy for like cutting zip ties or rope, and then if you ever deployed, if for you MacGyvers out there, you always needed a knife for some reason. You never know what kind of situation would come your way, and a knife would probably be your best bet to get you out, to save the day, to get you out of that situation. And so how does this describe me? How does this combat knife describe me? Well, first of all, I always loved hand-to-hand combat, and this knife reminds me of that. And there's a feeling of protection that you get from a combat knife. And every man wants to be able to protect himself and the people he loves, and that's what I find out of this knife. Also, there's the sense of adventure, of living life to the fullest. So how do you live life to the fullest? Well, going back to my knife, let's describe what a knife is. First of all, a combat knife has to be tactical. So what does that mean? Being tactical means being able to get the job done in the simplest way, with the least amount of difficulty. Secondly, a combat knife's got to be rugged. What does it mean to be rugged? It means the ability to withstand anything that's thrown at your way. When life gives you a tough situation, you have the ruggedness to be able to withstand it, to get through it. And then thirdly, the knife is sharp. I don't know who ever uses a dull knife or what, and I know if you have, you'd be pretty frustrated with it because you wouldn't do your job, but it wouldn't be able to do its job. So what does that mean? What does it mean to stay sharp? It means staying disciplined, honing your skills, having somebody there to sharpen you, to mentor you, to bring into not only just sharpen you or to make you better, but will keep you accountable and keep you going, staying strong, and that's what it means to stay sharp. And these items, these are what my items represent. They represent living life to the fullest, moving the world, and pursuit of engineering. My combat knife, my Hot Wheels semi-truck, and my laptop help bring a full picture of who I am. These items help define who I am, where I come from, and where I'm going. I and my suitcase will continue to carry these items, and one day I will look back and open my suitcase and I'll reflect on the life that we had. And I guess my message to you is, I hope your items define you as mine have defined me.